Hey guys, Scallywag here, and I'd really love to tell you the story of a guitar that I salvaged and turned from an old beat-up piece of junk into my dream guitar. It was my first guitar that I got bought by my mom almost 30 years ago when I was just 13 years old. And by this year, it was just so beat up and crappy that I was thinking of just throwing it away. I hadn't played it in decades, and I didn't take good care of it when I was young. So it was extremely beat up. It had chipping paint. By this time, the hardware was all rusted, or at least very tarnished. It was just a piece of crap. I was thinking of throwing it out. But what it originally looked like was this. It was a Yamaha Pacifica that originally looked like this, except with this kind of neck. Cheaper, crappier neck. Okay, so that's what it looked like. And like I said, all of the metal was either badly tarnished or very rusted. And then all of the white had been sun bleached so that it had, turned into like a bad looking cream color. Okay? So it looked fine when I first got it. Like, this isn't a bad look for a guitar. Not at all. But by 27 years later, it looked like crap. It didn't sound too bad though, honestly. The hardware still worked. So I realized I couldn't justify throwing it out. And I wanted to salvage it. And I did. And over the course of 9 months, replacing every single thing except the body and touching it up, this is what I turned it into. Looks really cool, right? I hope you think it looks as cool as I do, because this is like my dream guitar appearance. All the gold, the fire, everything. So here is what I did step by step. First thing I did was I replaced the tuning knobs, made it skulls. That's fucking cool, right? I replaced this used to be white, replaced that with black, replaced the bridge with this nice gold one, and then I replaced the pick guard, which I said was turned into an off-white, like a creamy, nasty looking thing, with this gold one, and then all these gold screws. Okay, and then I got this new neck. Right, I had some trouble replacing the neck, and I got these new tuners. They're locking tuners. I got them cheap, and they're a little tarnished, but it was worth it because they were so cheap. And no one's, if I'm playing live, no one's going to see that. I'm the only one who sees that, right? But I had some trouble putting them in. I had to drill the holes bigger, and I didn't have a vise, right? So I don't know if you can even see it. No, I don't think it's even visible. But when I was drilling the holes, the first holes, this part here just like popped right off. So I took it to a luthier to have them do it. You can't even see it anymore. Can't see the crack, can you? And I also installed this gold string tree here. It was a Pacifica neck, so to replace it I bought a Yamaha Eterna neck. And then it was a snug fit. I sanded it down a little, put some gold screws there, put some stickers on there. And then for the body, like I said, there was these chipping parts here that, I don't know if you can see right here. See, there's all these chips. So what I did was I bought a paint pen. All right, so I just touched those up so you can't see it if you're even like this is 3 feet away, right? Like you have to examine it up close to even notice. All right, so no one's ever going to see the chips now. And then I bought this flame sticker, and it was this one-piece sticker that was really for an acoustic guitar. So what I did is I cut out each individual flame, because the sticker is too big. I cut out each individual flame and then put them individually one at a time, placing them very carefully. The whole thing took almost 3 hours, over 2.5 hours, but I got them all on pretty well, I think. I think that looks really cool, don't you? Hopefully you do. And then I put some extra stickers on here. And then of course I got this yellow strap. The most complicated part, however, was these humbuckers and single coil pickups. So I bought this crunchy Pat humbucker, a lipstick single coil, and a gold foil single coil pickup, all from guitarfetish.com, which I do not recommend using because they ripped me off. They scammed me, and I did a whole video on that. If you want to hear that story, click the link below or I have that posted for you. The summary is that these pickups do not sound as good as I had hoped. They do not even sound as good as the cheap original pickups that came with the Yamaha Pacifica. I mean, I can't really call this guitar Yamaha Pacifica anymore since everything has been replaced except for the body. But the pickups that came with the Yamaha Pacifica were actually better sounding than the ones I bought from Guitar Fetish. The humbucker for the Yamaha Pacifica was much crunchier, much more of a heavy metal pickup than this one is. So I'm disappointed, and also, I don't know if you could see it, but this pickup started tarnishing within weeks out of the box. It's just like exposure to air is making it tarnish. So the pickups from Guitar Fetish are definitely a ripoff, and I'm going to have to replace these eventually. I mean, especially with this one tarnishing, but I would just like to get some really, really nice pickups in here. So I'm not going to replace them with cheap pickups like I did this time, but these are definitely going to make do for me in the meantime, because if I run them through a good amp, a good rig, they do then sound good. I'll show you what they sound like just played through a cheap practice amp so you can get a sense of that, and then I'll play them for you through a really nice rig. So let's plug it in and see how it sounds. I'm just going to show you what it sounds like through my stereo system and the microphone of this camera. I'm not going to go to the trouble of recording like I would if I was recording a song. I'm going to be doing that in the future though. So this is what it sounds like without me even hitting a note. You can hear there's some hum. This is just on the humbucker. And then the middle pickup has a really bad hum. I mean, you can hear that, right? And then so does this pickup. So that's worse than than the other pickups were originally anyway. Now let me show you what it sounds like. This is just through a cheap Fender G-Deck practice amp. Sounds pretty good, right? Like, yeah, I can deal with that. I like it. But yeah, it's not as good as they were. So that's the humbucker. The middle one, yeah, it's pretty good. Then the neck pickup. Yeah, sounds good. I don't dislike it. I would say I pretty much like it. It's just that I don't like it as much as I like the original pickups, which should have been cheaper and shittier, but somehow they're not. Okay? However, if I were to then use an even better rig, it's going to sound even better. So let's check that out. So this is me putting it through a Headrush gig board using my favorite rig, the Mark 8. So this is what it sounds like. Good, right? I wonder what it would have sounded like with the original pickups. Unfortunately, I threw them out because, like I said, they were really rusted. The white didn't look good anymore. So I'll eventually get some better pickups, but these will do in the meantime, you know. So I'm pretty happy with it. The pickups are disappointing, but they're good enough. They're pretty good. They're probably cheap Chinese pickups, but luckily I didn't pay an arm and a leg for them. When I say I got ripped off by Guitar Fetish, this wasn't really the biggest rip-off. You know, watch the video linked below if you want to hear that whole story and how I really got scammed by them. But all in all, I have upgraded my first guitar, which was a beat-up old piece of junk, and now this is what I have, my dream guitar. So I hope that you find it inspiring and think about doing something like this yourself if you have an old guitar that is, you know, now a piece of junk. But also take care of your guitars. You know, I learned my lesson. Like, that was when I was something I owned when I was 13 that I wouldn't do again. You know, I know how to take better care of my guitars now. But yeah, the project took a long time because I'm a newbie at luthiering, and I did have to take this into my luthier when I screwed things up, like busting open my headstock. And I also had them help me out with installing the pickups and the switch here. So I couldn't do it all myself, but I did most of it, like 90% of it myself. And it was a great learning experience, and I'm very happy with the result, and I hope you find it interesting and inspiring and might do something like this yourself. So thanks for watching and listening to that story, guys, and you can look out for some songs in the future that I might be playing with this. Alright, that's all. See you guys later.